Tarzan of the Apes, brought to you from out the pages of Edgar Rice Burroughs' unique book.
Philander! Philander, where are you?
Keep close behind me, monsieur. Bien, suivez-moi.
What could Philander be thinking of to wander off this way?
Monsieur Philander did not wander off. That is, I do not think so.
You think the blacks came into camp and took him?
I am sure of it.
But he was lying within 5 feet of me. They couldn't have taken him without my hearing them.
Monsieur, in certain parts of this continent, we of the French Navy have the rifles chained to the wrists of our sentries. If not, these natives, they steal upon the sentry and poof, before he can scream, the rifle is gone.
Quiet a moment, Lieutenant. Listen. Oh, we must be nearer the village than we thought.
No, it is not the village that sound. The smaller party has found the larger party, perhaps a war party or a tribe of hunters.
Then what do you propose, Darno?
We shall attack. This stealing of one of my safari, it is an affront against recognized authority.
Your sentries, Darno. They've seen something.
Yes, see those flickering of lights. Listen, mes enfants, as much as the jungle will permit, we will distribute ourselves in extended order. Upon my signal, we will open fire and aim between the ground and the flame of the torch. Deployez-vous! En tirailleurs! Accélérez! March!
Stick pretty close to me, Professor.
Very well, Clayton.
I feel as if we were getting somewhere at last.
Quite so, Clayton. Any sort of action is a tonic to our frayed nerves.
I don't know about the tonic, but action suits my temperament better than so-called watchful waiting.
Look, Clayton, look! We must be getting close. The flame from the torch is quite distinguishable.
Yes. All we're waiting for now is Darno's men to take their positions.
À volonté! À volonté!
I can't tell, Clayton, whether or not we are making any headway.
There are fewer torches anyway. Ah, here's one left.
I got him! I don't know for sure, but it is my belief, Clayton, that they are running away.
I think you're right.
Monsieur, we have put them to rout. Now it is to search.
We made quite a cleaning of them, eh, Darno?
But yes, there must have been about 100.
But still no trace of Philander.
No fear, we will find him. I believe from the drums that the two parties have not met.
Then we routed the other party?
But yes, to have allowed them to meet would be fatal. We should never have been able to handle them otherwise.
Then do you suggest that we press on now that we have somewhat of an advantage?
That, monsieur, is my plan. These blacks do not kill at once.
No. The torture is, well, part of their system.
That is so. And torture is only indulged in at the Boma, where all can enjoy the ceremony. Bon Charpentier! Come, monsieur! Lieutenant Charpentier has found a trail in the jungle.
By Jove, wide enough for an elephant trail, I say.
Yes, extensively used too, one would believe.
But this has not been used by the party we attacked. See, there are no torches, no bodies. But, monsieur, we shall follow this trail nevertheless.
Against the shadowy outline of the jungle wall, the moon rises red, round, and full. The giant trees, like the ghosts of sentinels, shiver as the chill wind drifts in off the sea. The jungle is uneasy. Numa, the lion, stands before his lair, tail twitching, muzzle quivering as he tries to catch an elusive scent. Save for Tantor the elephant, the waterhole is deserted, and even Tantor, who fears neither beast nor man, peers with his little eyes at the rim of deepening shadows that is the jungle's edge. Off on the little platform in the trees, Jane Porter and Tarzan watch the moon rise behind the sweeping purple edge of the distant mountain peaks.
Beautiful. Even if the jungle is more dangerous by night, it is infinitely more beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes, Whiteskin, beautiful.
And Jane waves an expressive hand as though to include the whole gorgeous confusion of tropic vegetation and brightly hued blossoms. From a nearby branch, Manu the monkey watches, fascinated, what he considers the strange antics of a pair of hairless apes. Tarzan, Manu recognizes as a friend, but what of the other? Manu swings himself closer, hangs for a moment, tail curled about the branch, one paw holding the stem of a vine. With the other paw, he reaches out and touches Jane's hair.
Oh, a monkey.
Monkey? Monkey.
Why, yes, Whiteskin. Why, yes, a monkey.
Manu. Monkey. Manu.
Manu? Oh, that's his name. Oh, hello, Manu. Come here, Manu. Oh, you're so cute.
Manu grins and shows his teeth when he hears this hairless she-ape call him by name. He drops from his branch, settles on Jane's shoulder, and chatters excitedly in her ear. Suddenly Manu stops. The lips, still curled, show the little sharp teeth, but now they're bared in mingled fear and anger. Jane's eyes open wide at the sudden change. Tarzan leaps to his feet, listening. This, then, is why the jungle is uneasy. The hated and feared enemy of the jungle is abroad, the Gomangani. Manu, teeth chattering, the fine hair standing on end, leaps into the trees and is gone. Tarzan looks down at Jane, points to the depths of the forest, and cups his hand behind his ear.
Drum.
Drum.
Yes, Whiteskin, drum. Look, like this.
Jane beats upon the platform with her hands. Tarzan nods his understanding.
Whiteskin, go quick. Drums.
And leave me here all alone, Whiteskin?
Jane, Brighton. Whiteskin, come. Come back, quick.
Tarzan signs to Jane to go into the leafy shelter he has made for her. The ape man knows he hasn't the words necessary to explain to her that the drumming means the Gomangani have captured a prisoner, and the prisoner may be one of our own people. Nor does Tarzan know that Jane believes her father, Philander, and Clayton have already left the jungle. Tarzan knows, but he cannot say, that he must follow the sound of the drums. With one backward glance, he springs into the trees. A swift, sure grip on a trailing vine, a lunge with his feet, and he swings like a pendulum through a gap in the foliage. With breathtaking speed, he leaps from branch to branch, swings from vine to vine. Tarzan knows that the sounds come from beside the water's edge. The blacks always follow the broad trail of Tantor the elephant, and somewhere on that trail he will find his quarry. Every living thing in the jungle is awake. Every jungle beast knows and hates the Gomangani with their poisoned arrows, their throbbing drums, their cleverly concealed snares. Tarzan stops. To his keen ears comes the sound, the soft tread of naked feet on the jungle floor. He moves aside. He moves the screening leaves. There, filing their way north and carrying Philander, bound and gagged, there are the blacks. Tarzan speeds onward. Now he's well beyond the approaching party. He drops to the broad branch of a leafy tree, crouches, waiting. Meanwhile, in the elephant trail discovered by Lieutenant Charpentier, the party cautiously advances in the direction of the blacks' village.
Strange, Darno. The jungle seems to be deserted, not only of blacks, but of animals as well.
Do not be misled, monsieur, by appearances. Every brush, every tree may conceal one or more of our enemies. We could pass within inches of them, and we would never know.
Now that you mention it, Darno, I have had for some time the uncomfortable feeling that we are being watched. That peculiar sense of eyes peering into my back.
Those drums. One moment they're in front, the next behind. They seem to move, to be all around us.
Yes, I myself have been deceived in a similar way, Clayton. Most terrifying, most mysterious.
These blacks, they are a strange people. They are like children, n'est-ce pas? But they do things we civilized peoples do not comprehend. But here, monsieur, your experience is no different from that of any who but arrive for the first time in these jungles.
But how do they do it, Darno?
Monsieur, if we do that, why, these men, these old-timers who have lived here for years, they do not know.
Look, Darno, Porter, what's that? Something in the brush.
Where, monsieur? I see it. Look, there, on the edge of the trail.
Tarzan of the Apes, brought to you from out the pages of Edgar Rice Burroughs' famous book.
looks remarkably like a dead leopard lying on a dead man.
Yes, Professor. And do you see what the man is touching?
Oui, Monsieur Clayton. It is the solar helmet of Monsieur Philander.
It is poor Philander's sun
I
helmet.
told you, Monsieur le Professeur, do not approach. It is possibly a trap. Monsieur Clayton, if you will walk backward, comme ça, and Monsieur le Professeur will walk in this way. Mais en garde, Monsieur. My men will first encircle the spot to see that there are no poisoned arrows or spears pointing to the place where Monsieur's helmet is. And I will go first. Aha, Monsieur! It is for the first time that we have the Lady Luck with us.
What is it? Yes, quickly, Darno. Is it Philander?
But no, it is the witch doctor. One of our shots must have killed him.
But what's he doing with Philander's sun helmet?
And Philander's binoculars.
The witch doctor, he was probably going to make medicine against us by using these things of Monsieur Philander.
Well, I can't see much to get enthusiastic over, except we killed a witch doctor.
But, Monsieur, it is very important. This is proof positive that at the time the witch doctor was killed, Monsieur Philander was still alive.
But how, Darno? I cannot see any definite connection.
Neither
with that.
can I.
If Monsieur Philander were dead, this witch doctor would not carry these things. It is for the purpose of tribal ceremony that the witch doctor wants the helmet and the glasses.
Well, probably you're right, though I fail to understand.
I think, in fact, I'm sure I understand. Somewhere I've read that these primitive people make images of the person or persons they wish to destroy, and then proceed by concerted effort to pray them to death.
That is correct, Monsieur le Professeur. And in addition, to make their medicine more potent, they gather whatever they can of the victim's belongings, surround the image with them, and the victim's death, I give you my word, is assured.
All very ridiculous, I'm sure, and not helping us to rescue Philander.
Monsieur Clayton is young to Africa. When Monsieur has lived here as long as I have, 10 years, he will not sneer at the black magic.
But great Scott, Otto, you're not trying to tell me that we, grown, civilized men, are going to determine our actions and reactions, such as in this Philander capture, by what you choose to call black magic? Ha! It's ridiculous. Preposterous.
Ridiculous? Preposterous? Hardly, Monsieur. But, tiens, we waste time. Allons!
Don't you think we ought to take this witch doctor's costume? Scanty, I admit, but it might be useful.
It is but one more thing to carry. It is nothing. Take it. Come, mes enfants. Forward! En avant!
In another part of the jungle, Tarzan, crouching on the low-hanging branch of a tree, watches the file of blacks with their prisoner approaching. Now the first black is just a few feet away. Tarzan braces himself. Now he's throwing the rope. It's a perfect throw. The leading black is caught in the loop. Instantly, Tarzan jerks the rope and begins pulling the terrified, struggling savage into the tree. The other savages stand petrified, talking excitedly. Now Tarzan has the horror-stricken savage in his grasp. He struggles futilely. A fearful wail and the savage becomes limp. Tarzan raises him high and with a mighty thrust heaves his victim upon the heads of the excited savages below him. The blacks, excited before, are now thunderstruck. Who and what is this unseen power? They mumble, wail, and utter weird chants to their gods to protect them. The bravest savages begin circling the tree, peering upward. Tarzan, hidden from view, draws an arrow from his quiver. Slowly, deliberately, he aims at one of the boldest blacks. The bowstring twangs, and the huge savage, shrieking, falls. Again and again, Tarzan's arrows with deadly accuracy find their marks. Bedlam breaks loose, and the remaining savages, wailing with fright, flee in consternation, leaving Philander behind them. Tarzan quickly descends. Now he's above Philander. He bends down.
Look over here.
What was that? Tarzan listens. A half smile crosses his face as he recognizes the voices of the Tarmangani. With a few swift strokes, he cuts Philander's bonds and, leaping for the lower branches of a tree, is gone.
That noise! Quickly, Monsieur! Almost sounds as if we caught up with them. By Jove! Look there!
Philander! Kill it, Philander!
Let me get that gag out of your mouth.
Oh, what a relief. Darno, gather the flask.
Here it is, Monsieur.
Oh, now, don't try to talk, Philander. Swallow this. That's right, now. Now,
that drink.
what a relief. What has happened?
Where did he go? Did you see him?
What are you talking about? Who go where? The blacks, you mean?
No, the jungle man. The man who rescued us from the lion.
You saw him?
As well as I could, lying there on my back.
I saw enough to convince me.
Monsieur is nervous, distraught. Perhaps if Monsieur tried to tell from the beginning. Yes, Skinny, calm yourself now. Tell your story from the time that you wandered off.
Archimedes, Q. Porter, there's a limit. Wandered off. Indeed, I was dragged off.
Oh, then do tell us about it.
I was asleep, just a few feet from Clayton there. Something, I don't know what it was, awakened me. I felt a sort of choking feeling. I put my hand to my throat, felt a string. Just as I moved, it tightened. I tried to call, found myself getting giddy for lack of breath, and then everything went black.
And then, Skinny, what? Go on.
When I came to regain, that is, partially regain my faculties, I was being carried along by some blacks. How long I'd been unconscious, I had no idea. Suddenly there was a halt. The blacks dropped me. And from the ground where I lay helpless, I saw a black actually rise from the trail and disappear in the foliage above. The blacks excitedly huddled together beneath the tree, and immediately the one that disappeared in the tree was hurled with terrific force on top of them. They became wildly excited. Then I saw many of them who were nearest the tree drop with arrows in their chests. And then with the most awful sound, the remaining blacks fled, leaving me. Before I could really collect my senses, it happened so suddenly, so quickly, this amazing jungle person released my bonds and vanished.
Tenor de Brist, that is astounding. I should like to meet this person.
I have not the slightest doubt that you will do so, Darno. Philander, here is your sun helmet and your...
Glasses?
Yes.
Why, yes. Where did you find them?
On the trail, while we were following you. And now, Monsieur Darno, much as I would like to push on to the village, I think that poor Philander requires a little rest.
Not me, Archimedes. I am ready now.
That is the spirit that will win. But consider, we will require to conserve our strength. So let us camp here till daybreak. Par ici, mes enfants!
Let's make a comfortable rest of this planet.
Faites préparer un livre, Monsieur Philander.
While Philander has been describing his experiences, Tarzan has returned to the platform in the trees where Jane tremblingly awaits him.
Oh, Whiteskin, I thought you were never coming back.
Back? Whiteskin, come back quick.
Perhaps you thought it was quick, but to me it seemed years. Oh, I was so frightened, alone.
Alone? Alone?
Yes, alone. Well, I suppose I'll have to explain that word.
While Jane tries to think of a way to explain alone, Tarzan tries equally hard to think how to explain that the Tarmangani are safe. Jane breaks off a few twigs, lays them on the platform, and passes her hand over them.
Whiteskin, many.
Many?
Yes,
Picking all the twigs up but one, Jane points to it.
alone.
Alone.
Tarzan nods his head, then points to Jane.
Whiteskin, go. Jane, alone. Whiteskin, come back. Jane, many.
Well, it's not what Daddy or Mr. Philander would consider expert syntax, but then I understand.
Understand?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Jane nods her head
Yes.
several times as
Yes.
she repeats the word.
Yes.
Tarzan follows
Yes.
suit.
Yes.
Then Jane shakes her head from side to side.
No.
No.
Yes, you've got it, Whiteskin.
Whiteskin, go. Jane, frightened. Yes? Whiteskin, come back quick. Jane, frightened? No.
Well, for a limited vocabulary, you express yourself wonderfully. But enough school for today. We ought to be asleep.
Asleep?
Yes, sleep. Look.
Jane closes her eyes, places her cheek on the palm of her hand, and pretends to sleep.
Jane, sleep.
Yes.
Whiteskin, sleep. Yes.
Jane Porter seeks her resting place in the little leafy alcove Tarzan has built for her, while the ape-man stretches himself on the platform. With the departure of the blacks, the jungle slowly returns to normal. New Mother Lion leaves his lair to stalk his prey in the tall grasses. Tantor, the elephant, returns to the water holes. Baby monkeys release their clutching grasp on their mother's shaggy coats, and excited chattering dies down to sleepy whimpers. Far in the distance, Dango, the hyena, howls to the moon and waits for the half-devoured kill of some worthier jungle beast, while Tarzan, lord of the jungle, sleeps before Jane's resting place. A loyal bodyguard, a foe to be feared, a sentinel against all intrusion. Tarzan of the Apes, brought to you from out the pages of Edgar Rice Burroughs' enchanting books. Filtering through the tangled mass of leaf and vine, the darting rays of the rising sun stab the jungle gloom in little jets of burnished gold. From above sounds the screech of brilliantly plumed parrots, the ceaseless chatter of apes and monkeys. Below, from the dark green recesses of the jungle's tortuous paths, comes the soft padding of cat-like feet on the spongy moss. A shadowy movement in the tall bamboo, a glinting of black and gold as Sheeta the leopard seeks a cool retreat after his nightly kill. A flash of green, more vivid than the sheltering leaves, a soft slithering sound like lapping waves on a shingle beach, and Hista the snake slides into the rank grasses. On the little platform in the trees, Jane Porter and Tarzan watch the ever-changing jungle awaken. Jane, hungry? Eat?
Yes, Whiteskin. Oh, and you've already gathered the fruit.
Fruit? Plum?
Yes, Whiteskin. Plum, fruit, banana fruit.
One by one, Jane holds out the fruits as she names them, and Tarzan picks them up as she lays them down. Banana. Banana?
No, plum. This banana.
Banana. Plum.
Yes.
Whiteskin, go. Come back, many fruit.
Whiteskin, go. Come back, give Jane many fruit.
Give?
Give. Jane, give Whiteskin plum.
And Jane, as she says give, hands to Tarzan a wild plum. Tarzan's eyes brighten as for the first time he recognizes a new word not at the end of a sentence. Whiteskin, give Jane plum. Whiteskin, give Jane fruit.
Yes. Now you're really talking.
Talking?
That's right.
Jane emphasizes the movements of her lips as she says the words. Talking. Eat. Talking.
Oh, no. No, Whiteskin, eat.
No, Whiteskin, eat. Jane moves her lips without sound, and Tarzan watches intently to catch this difference he cannot quite understand.
Now this is talking. Jane, hungry, eat fruit. Whiteskin, hungry, go quickly, come back, eat fruit.
Yes. Whiteskin, talk. And Tarzan nods his head several times to convince Jane that he at last understands the difference between eat and talk. Tarzan turns as the young ape Gazan swings onto the platform. Tika, Belu, Gazan. Tarzan tries to explain that the young ape is Gazan, Tika's baby. He turns again to the ape. Agala, Bulat, Batando, Jan. Whiteskin, go. Drums. Come back, quick.
All right, Whiteskin, but come back quick.
Yes. Jane cannot understand what Tarzan is going to do, but where before she would have been terrified at being left alone, now she accepts it with Tarzan's assurance that he will come back quickly. As for Tarzan, he does not have sufficient command of his new speech to tell Jane that Takla, the bull ape, is mistreating one of the tribe, and that he, Tarzan, as leader of the great apes, must do as Gazan asks, go to the dum-dum and settle the difference. As the ape-man swings off into the jungle terrace, Gazan seats himself on the platform and proceeds to satisfy his curiosity about this white, hairless she with whom Tarzan spends so much of his time. Off in another part of the forest, Professor Porter, Philander, Clayton, and Darno press on toward the cannibal kraal.
This almost impenetrable wall of trees and vines and everything seems endless. We don't seem to be making any headway.
We are making some headway. And in any case, Philander, don't forget that while we are more or less bringing up the rear, Clayton, Darno, and the sailors ahead are really making it quite easy for us.
I suppose so. By the way, Professor, I've been thinking.
Yes?
I didn't want to mention this as long as Clayton was within hearing, but it strikes me as being more than a mere coincidence that our jungle friend rescued me from the blacks.
Then come to the point, Philander, come to the point. What are you trying to say? And why should you be averse to letting Clayton hear?
Because Clayton seems to have taken the most unreasonable dislike to this pagan person. What I was to say was, perhaps Clayton is, after all, correct. And Jane has already been rescued by him, and yet,
what, Philander?
It seems almost unbelievable that there can be two people living in this jungle. I mean, Tarzan of the Apes leaves a notice on the door of the hut, warning us that he's watching. Then this pagan, who neither speaks or understands English, is always at hand just as if he were watching. And unless he is Tarzan of the Apes, then why have we not seen Tarzan?
For days, yes, and nights, the same thing has been puzzling me, Philander. I am almost convinced that this Knight of the Jungle is Tarzan.
But, Professor, how do you count...
There you go again, Philander. 1 minute you try to convince me of something, and then, when I am about to offer corroborative evidence, you begin arguing against your own postulation.
But listen, Professor. Can you explain how this man can read and write and still not understand or talk English?
Yes.
What?
You asked me a question, and I gave you a most emphatic answer. Yes.
Then explain yourself, Professor. Explain.
Well, a compatriot of Darnow's, a Champollion by name, translated the Rosetta Stone.
Of course. I know that.
And George Smith transcribed and translated innumerable tablets of cuneiform.
Yes, I agree. But what then?
But can you or anyone else talk ancient Egyptian or Chaldean or Assyrian?
Of course not, but...
But you and I, as archaeologists, can read and write both. We cannot, however, speak the language. Why cannot, therefore, Tarzan of the Apes have the ability to read and write English without being able to utter a word of it?
Professor, you almost convinced me. Still, I don't see how you could have learned to read and write.
That, my dear Sir Philander, is a different problem, but one which is in no way detracts from the soundness of my previous theory.
Commander! Porter! The advance guard just reported that they've sighted the village.
Yes, the large one is it?
How far off? It's rather early, yet still, definitely.
Then you don't know how many natives there may be.
Monsieur! The end of our search is in sight.
So Clayton just said.
Now, monsieur, we do not want to act as if in any haste or with any fear of being outnumbered.
But we want to be on our guard.
Mais oui, ça va sans dire. That goes without saying. But we must not have the appearance of an attacking party.
I'm afraid I don't understand. Here we come all this way to effect Jane's rescue, if possible, and now, when we do get within hailing distance of the place, we're not to do anything.
Now, Clayton, you're altogether too impetuous. I'm sure that Lieutenant Darnow does not mean to sit down and wait for the blacks to release Jane.
Merci bien, Monsieur le Professeur. Monsieur Clayton, we have no means of ascertaining how many there are in the village. Therefore, to attack is foolish. They could shoot us down with comparative ease.
That's not what I meant, Darnow. All that I'm trying to say is that I think the time has arrived for strong measures, not mere talk.
Strong measures, my friend, are ideal when you have at your command a strong force. Now, we have only a small party, but we do represent the authority of the French nation. I propose to reason with these blacks, convince them, if I can, that resistance and our deaths will be avenged by the arrival of many ships and innumerable soldiers.
With all due respect to the avenging arm of the French government, it would do us little good if we put our heads, so to speak, into the lion's mouth, and the lion gets shot after he has eaten us.
At the same time, Clayton, if we ruthlessly attack these people, the first thing they'll do probably is to kill Jane.
Oh, yes, Philander, I thoroughly agree. That is the thing I have most feared, though I have not brought myself to speak of it.
Then, monsieur, with as little noise as possible, but with no attempt at concealment, we will go on. Nous avançons, n'est-ce pas?
To Jane Porter lying on the platform in the tree, the breeze carries faintly the distant sounds of the search party. The girl scrambles to her knees, leans out as far as she can, listening intently. Again, the voices. Can it possibly be? Does it mean that they did not leave on the steamer? For a moment she's certain she hears Cecil's voice, and then Philander's deep-voiced answer. She glances about. If only Whiteskin would come back. Again she listens. But the only answering sounds now are the jungle noises. The sounds die in the distance. Faintly in the lull comes the sharp crackling of underbrush, the confused murmur of what may be voices. Once more Jane glances down the jungle trail. Still no signs of Whiteskin's return. In an instant, she makes up her mind. She knows it is a search party. Quickly, Jane grasps a branch. Gazan, the young ape, realizing the danger into which this hairless she is plunging, tries to stop her. Jane lowers herself. Her swinging feet reach for a foothold. Gazan tries desperately to stop her. Tarzan is left hurling his chair. But Jane, heedless of danger, slides and scrambles to the ground, and ignoring the warning chatter of Gazan, rushes headlong into the jungle.